Another day, another new news update regarding the Minnesota Vikings coaching staff. Special teams coach Mike Priefer is gone. He backed up his bags and is moving into Cleveland, where he'll be the special teams coach for the Browns moving forward. So now he is out of Minnesota, leaving a vacancy in the special teams coaching spot for the Vikings. Now, Mike Priefer, throughout his tenure as the Vikings special teams coach, has been regarded as one of the best in the NFL. I think he fell off at the very least in the last couple of years, and I think maybe a little bit overrated. Let's look at what he's had as far as talent around him in recent years. Starting off, Vikings drafted Harvin in his rookie year in 2009, and throughout his 4 years with the Vikings, he had 5 kick return touchdowns. Was an absolute beast in the return game. Too bad for his injuries, where he could have had more options. And of course, throughout this whole time period, after Harvin's tenure, the special teams rules start to get changed a little bit. But Harvin, of course, you're looking at 5 touchdowns in 4 years. Man, this guy is good. Who's the coach? He's phenomenal. And then Harvin's gone, so we bring in all-pro returner and gunner Cordero Patterson, who again 5 touchdowns in 4 years with the Vikings. Cordero Patterson not only was one of the best returners in the league and still is, he's also a phenomenal gunner on his punt returns, where he can just go down the sideline. Nobody can push him out of bounds. He's too big, too fast, and make tackles when he's covering punts. So very, very good there. And also, the reliable on punts, Marcus Sherrills, who has 5 returns, not in 4 years, but in 7. But punts are usually a little bit harder, and he's been very solid too, and also been very good as special teams player, sort of like Patterson, being able to make plays on special teams, making those tackles. So 3 pretty phenomenal special teams players in Priefer's tenure. 3 that know how much was this of just pure talent and college coaching and what they already were bringing to the NFL, and how much was it Priefer's coaching. It's hard to say, but it is pretty clear that Harvin and Patterson still were good when they went to a different team. But now we can see what we've seen, what Vikings fans have not liked out of Priefer recently. That is the god-awful kicking we've seen in Minnesota. It has not been consistent since the rookie year of Blair Walsh, but let's start there. Rookie year, Blair Walsh kind of turned into a Minnesota Vikings meme for the Seahawks game, but my God, was he so good his rookie year, 2012. He made 35 field goals in 38 attempts, 92%. And a bonus, he was 36 for 36 on PATs. Now, I believe this was still when PATs were a chip shot, but still, the consistency, so nice. Blair Walsh, all-pro, phenomenal, great kicker, rookie year. And then, one might think Mike Priefer either got into his head a little bit, or he got into his head a little bit too much, or he wasn't in there enough, because after that it was completely downhill. Went from 92% kicking to 86, a little sophomore slump in 2013, and then just fell off in 2014, 74%, and just fell off to again 75% in 2016, where he went to the Seahawks. Now, to be fair, he didn't rebound with the Seahawks. It was a career worse year, 72% field goal kicking with Seattle. But maybe you could make the case all the harm was already done, and he couldn't really recover from it. That, of course, the famous Seahawks missed field goal, everybody says, well, that's where it came from. Well, a kicking coach, he's not a kicking coach, he's a special teams coach, but still, yeah, kicking is a big part of special teams, and that's something he has to be good at as a coach. And you're kind of a therapist there. You're like, all right, you have to just be able to figure out how to make this kid more consistent once again. And then the Vikings go out. We pick up Kai Forbath, whom was solid, but had his struggles on the still short, but a little bit move back extra points. So we thought, well, we at least need to bring in competition, but they wanted more. They moved up into the draft to pick up the player that everybody's saying is the best pick in the 2018 draft class, and that is Daniel Carlson. And what does he do? Under Priefer's tutelage, he completely blows the Packers game, giving us the tie, going 1-for-4 in his time for Minnesota. So, all right, well, he's just a miss. It's a bad Rick Spielman pick, right? No. He goes to Oakland, where he only misses 1 in 19 and 17 attempts, goes 16 for 17 in his time for Oakland, and looks to be the kicker of the future for a long, long time in Oakland, where they don't have that special teams guru, Mike Priefer, there to coach the kid up. And then, even icing on the cake, Vikings bring in, after the Carlson fiasco, they bring in the second and most accurate kicker of all time, and Dan Bailey, and he struggles a lot too, where he was the 29th ranked kicker as far as accuracy, only completing 75% of his kicks this year. For a guy that's second accurate most kicker all time, you have to start looking at the coach. I know maybe a little bit of it, maybe Dan Bailey, especially early on, with a little bit of a rusty, a little bit his injury still nagging him. It's hard to say, but if he was in tryouts, the coach, again, should have saw that and be like, hey, maybe we don't sign him yet, or maybe we go elsewhere. So you have to give a lot of that to Mike Priefer as maybe a little bit overrated. I'm not saying he was a horrible coach, but the signs in the recent years point that he wasn't as necessary as a lot of people thought. So give me your thoughts on the departure of special teams coach Mike Priefer. If you know of any special teams coach, if you're that type of a person, give me some names in the comment section down below. And overall, are you happy he's gone, or are you disappointed? And we'll see you guys in the next JOZ Vikings video. See you guys then.